My future mother-in-law lowered the pie knife when Bennett's cardholder named Natalie. Thanksgiving at Bennett's parents' house was already tense before Joan reached into his coat for cash and found the black cardholder. Joan likes cash tips for everything. Pie delivery, the neighbor kid, church leftovers. Bennett had hung his coat on the mudroom rack when we came in. Halfway through dinner, Joan remembered she still owed the pie girl $10, asked Bennett if he had small bills, and pulled the coat down before he answered. The black holder slipped out and hit the floor beside the gravy boat. Joan picked it up automatically. Crestwell Hotel stamped in silver. She laughed and said, "Well, somebody's living nicer than we are." Then she opened it. Her face changed first. Bennett and I had been engaged 7 months. What they did not know was that I had been uneasy since October, when he said he spent one Saturday helping Natalie from his office after her ugly separation meeting. He came home after midnight, smelled like cedar soap, and told me not to make a crisis about another woman's bad day. Natalie was always described as temporary chaos. Separated, not divorced. Smart, messy, grateful for Bennett's help. He said she leaned on him because he was calm, and because HR had them working late on the same rollout. I hated how reasonable that sounded in public, and how intimate it felt in private. At the table, Joan asked why the holder had a Crestwell room charge card for room 512 dated last Saturday. Last Saturday, Bennett told me he was at his brother's townhouse helping install shelves. Liza said maybe it was work. Bennett stood up too fast and reached for the holder. Joan pulled back just enough to finish reading. The charge slip listed valet, 1 king room, breakfast for 2, and a boutique line for silk scarf. Guest request. The guest line underneath Bennett's signature, said and Mercer added at 9:42 p.m. Nobody spoke for a second. Then Liza tried to help him. She said Natalie must have needed somewhere safe and Bennett probably did the decent thing, which in one sentence confirmed the hotel was real. Bennett was with Natalie, and none of this had ever been mentioned to me. I asked Bennett why he told me shelves if the answer was hotel. He said because if he told me he put Natalie in a room, I would have made it filthy before he could explain. He said the scarf was because she showed up without a coat, and the boutique was the only thing still open. He said breakfast for 2 was probably an automatic package, not a confession. His father asked what N, Mercer added, meant if Bennett was just paying and leaving. Bennett said the front desk needed a second name for liability. Joan asked why the second name was not Bennett's brother, since that was the lie he used on me. Until then, this could still have been me overreacting to a bad look. Once Joan asked that, the whole table stopped trying to smooth it out and started measuring the gap between his story and the paper in her hand. My mother put down her fork. Liza quit defending him. Bennett kept saying nothing physical happened, which was not the question anybody asked first. Maybe he really did play rescuer and then lie because he knew how it sounded. Maybe Natalie used his kindness exactly the way I feared she would. Maybe I had been suspicious long enough that any woman's initial beside his signature would have detonated me. What nobody at Thanksgiving could debate was that he spent a Saturday night in a king room with another woman's name added to the charge card, bought her a scarf, lied to me about where he was, and expected marriage to survive the edited version. I took my ring off before dessert and put it in Joan's open palm because she was still the one holding the evidence. Nobody there stopped me. By the time his aunt started wrapping leftovers, Bennett was no longer being treated like the son who made one generous mistake. He was the man at the center of a hotel cardholder nobody in that dining room could explain away cleanly.